Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. And I'm just out here double checking that I am live on my business page where I want to be. So hopefully I am, and hopefully you guys can see me. And if you do see me, just hop in and say hello and let me know that you're here and watching. I'm pulling up the video right now on my computer so that hopefully I can keep up with your comments and things as you guys come in. So I apologize for being a little bit late today. Hey, Linda, thanks for jumping in. So my daughter actually, we had a meeting over at her school this morning, so I had to do a little rearranging of the schedule. So I'm here, and thank goodness it looks like a couple of you are too. So hey, Samantha, thanks for joining today. So today I'm going to show you real quickly how I made this card with the seasonal wreaths. Hey, Christy, thanks for hopping in. So, and Nancy, man, look at y'all coming in. I guess maybe 1 o'clock is a better time. I don't know. So I made a card today with the seasonal wreaths stamp set, and it's from the upcoming 2019 holiday catalog. It's a good one. It's a photopolymer, so it's one of the clear stamp sets. And what I like about it is that it's actually a little more versatile. It's not just Christmas or holiday or winter. So, hey, Jean Ann and Arlene, thanks for joining today too. So it's a little bit more versatile, and I like that. There's a birthday sentiment in here, some thank you ones, happy everything, which can kind of be used for everything. So the images that we're going to be using today, I made a birthday card, obviously, with it, with that sentiment. And then I actually used this image to stamp across the card. It was designed to stamp 4 times in a circle, basically, and create a wreath, but I decided I didn't want a wreath. I wanted straight lines. So that's what I did with it. So I just changed it up a little bit from the way it was intended to use it. But all right, so here's the card. I'm going to go ahead and set these things aside, and we will get going here. I did do a little bit of the work ahead of time just because this is very repetitive stamping and coloring. It's all the same colors, all the same design and layout and everything. So just to save us a little bit of time and you a lot of time sitting here watching me color and ramble on, I thought I would just go ahead and do some of it ahead of time. So I used crumb cake ink and I stamped it. This is a panel of very vanilla cardstock, and it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, but I'll have all the details about the cardstock cuts out on my blog tomorrow, so no worries there. I'll be posting all the details. So how I did this was I basically just sort of layered it together and tried to fit the leaves in between each other a little bit. And I do apologize if there's a bunch of racket that suddenly happens. The neighbor next door, I don't know what they're doing exactly in their backyard, but they had a big backhoe or some sort of huge piece of equipment digging a hole in their yard. So I'm hoping that they're done digging, but I figured about the time I got going on my video, they'd come off their lunch break and probably start digging again. So if you hear a bunch of noise, that's just what it is. So all right, so I'm done with the crumb cake ink, so I'm setting that aside over here. And I colored it with the light Cajun Craze. I used that on the flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of quick coloring on here. And you'll notice that the color that I'm putting on here is, hopefully you can see it well enough in the video, is considerably darker than the color that is on the flowers below. And I'll show you real quickly in a minute how I did that. But while I'm coloring, one thing, I don't know if you saw my blog post today, but Stampin' Up! Got a shipment, the final shipment of the trimmer blades for the trimmer that was just discontinued. The final shipment of blades is coming in. I don't know if it's in the warehouse yet, but it's coming in, and they're going to be putting them up and available for sale here in the U.S. Hey, Jackie, and hey, Catherine, thanks for joining today. So they're going to be having the trimmer blades up for sale here in the U.S. starting at 10 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time next week, Tuesday, August 27th. So if you have a trimmer and you want to get some more trimmer blades, be sure that you are out online and getting those trimmer blades ordered right away. They sold out in, I think, 9 or 10 minutes last time. So definitely, if it's something that you need or want, get on it, get out there, and get your order placed. I'm also going to let you know that the very best and fastest way to get them is actually to put in the order yourself out online. I tried to order some for customers last time, and just because I had a couple of orders to get put in, I wasn't fast enough, and I ended up actually not getting them. So if you want the trimmer blades, I would highly, highly recommend just go out into the online store, go out into my online store on Tuesday, A couple minutes before 10, get all logged in and ready to go, and then hit the button to order as many as you would like. Like I said, they're limiting them to 3 per order. You can order multiple orders if you want to, but you can only do 3 per order. So let me know if you have questions about that, but hopefully anybody who needs them can get in and get yourself a set or get yourself some of the trimmer blades. So, all right, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm using the color lifter to remove some of the color from the flowers, just because I wanted them to be a little bit lighter in color than what the Cajun Craze light marker did. So, hey Carol Ann, thanks for joining today. So, the flower centers I did with the dark So Saffron Stampin' Blends marker, so I'm just going to add a little bit of color quickly to those. And then I did light soft seafoam on the larger leaves in this image. So I'm going to go ahead and just do real quickly a little bit of light soft seafoam ink. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera too much as I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Oh, one other thing I wanted to tell you about or remind you about, well, I got a couple other things, but I am doing a Designer Series paper share. The details are posted out on my blog, so if you are interested in getting a peek at and getting your hands on all of the new Designer Series paper in the holiday catalog, check out the details on my blog posts. There are links to my share on blog posts that I posted today. So if that's something of interest to you, anyone here in the U.S. is welcome to join in. Unfortunately, I can't ship outside the U.S. as far as Stampin' Up! Product goes, but anybody here in the U.S. is welcome to join. So let me know if you have questions about that. I'm adding in here, doing a little bit of dark soft seafoam, and I went over everything twice just to get it a little bit. I didn't want it to be a huge difference in the colors, but just enough that you could tell it was a little different color. All right. Oh, Karen's joining today. Hey, hi Jack. Oh, you like the paper share? Yes, paper shares are awesome. I'm telling you, it's nice because you get a nice little kind of working sample of everything. You can check it out, see what you like the best, and then order more of that. So that's, designer paper shares. I love offering them, and I love being a part of them too. I'm always a part of my own paper share, just because I rarely use up a full pack of anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some of the papers that I really love, I use up full packs, but a lot of them I don't, and so then I feel like they go to waste. So that's why I like sharing them with you all, so I can try them all out. So, hey Karen, thanks for joining. All right, so my coloring, my awesome, fabulous, woohoo coloring is all done. So I'm gonna go ahead. The next step that I did was I embossed the panel with the pine wood planks embossing folder. And this is the old style embossing folder. I have not bought another new one just because it's the same design. But just gonna do a little quick embossing on it. So the newer style embossing folders are a little bit thinner. The 3D ones are, and the new 3D embossing plate works fantastically on them. So I highly recommend getting that. It's just perfect and runs through your die cutting machine without any issues with it. So will there be double points offering at the start of the holiday catalog? Well, there just might be, Nancy. So you're gonna have to hold on and see, but I'd say it's a fairly strong possibility. But unless I decide to get creative and do something else. But I'm not going to say 100% yes right now, but there's a pretty strong possibility. So if that gives you any indication. So, all right. So I went ahead and embossed that with the pine wood planks embossing folder. Hopefully you can see that on there. And then we're going to use a little bit of snail, and I'm going to adhere that to another piece of very vanilla cardstock. This piece is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And again, I'll be putting the details out on my blog tomorrow, so no need to worry about writing it down right now. One other quick tip that I have for you is when I emboss a panel like this, I usually try to put the adhesive on the bottom panel just so that I don't smash the embossing accidentally when I'm applying the adhesive, because sometimes I don't realize my own strength and get a little overzealous with the adhesive. So, all right, just adhering the two together. All right, and then we're going to tie a little bit of linen thread around the panel here. Just wrapped it around twice, tied a little bow. And Catherine's saying that she bought the new embossing plate and that it works great. It does. It works really, really well with the new style embossing folders. There's no guessing about what the sandwich should be or putting in a whole pile of shims or anything like that. I really like it too. It just makes it super easy, really easy to use and easy to do, and like I said, takes all the guesswork out of it, and then you don't have to worry about destroying your embossing folders or tearing up your machine either. So, all right, so we've got that tied around here. Hopefully, it's a little, there you go, okay. So we're going to set that aside for 1 second, and well, no, actually I think we'll go ahead and adhere it to the card base. This is a thick thick, very vanilla card base that I've got cut here to 4 1/4 by 11, and it would work just the same on a card base that you've got cut to 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. But I just do mine this way just because I like the way they look a little bit better this way. So, all right. We're using a couple Stampin' dimensionals here to adhere the panel to the card base. Oh, and one other thing while I'm picking dimensionals off is just wanted to remind you about the extra joining promotion that's going on right now as well. So Stampin' Up! Has got a great offer on joining. If you purchase the starter kit, where's my snips? There we go. Gonna trim up the ends here a little bit. If you purchase the starter kit before the end of August and get in on the good deal, Stampin' Up! Is actually giving you an extra $30 in merchandise in your starter kit. So you pay $99 and you get $155 worth of merchandise in your starter kit. And then you get a $10 off coupon code that you will get in early September, and you can use that on any order before the end of October. So it's a really great deal, and good deal for anybody to join. So if you're interested, have any questions about that, let me know, and I'd be happy to talk with you more about it. There are also links out on my blog, and if you have any interest in going and taking a look at a few more details about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So it's a really great deal with really no strings attached. So. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Again, this is from the Seasonal Wreaths stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it in Versamark ink, and I pre-cut this with one of the stitched rectangle dies, so I'm hoping I got it fairly straight and centered. We'll see once we emboss it. I did cut a spare one just in case I made a mess, which could easily happen because, you know, usually I don't make too big of messes except for when I'm on live, and then all of a sudden I can't seem to stamp anything straight. So we'll see how we did here. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think I actually might have done it. So hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the heat tool here. It's going to be a little loud for a second while we emboss this. So bear with me for the noise. There we go. Chasing it around. All right, so we've got our sentiment all embossed here. And I probably forgot to say I used copper Stampin' embossing powder for the embossing powder on here, so we got a little bit of a sentiment done with some embossing powder, and I'm trying to let it cool just a second before I flip it over because I don't want to smear it or smudge it. So we should be good now, and I'm going to adhere it on with some Stampin' dimensionals. So school starts here next week for us, so hopefully I'll be on a little bit more of a normal schedule once we get off the summer schedule for the kids. So they'll be busy at school, and hopefully I'll be able to do lives at a normal time instead of having to move it around every 5 minutes. So hopefully I can continue on doing the lunchtime time frame. So, all right, so we got our sentiment put on here. And the next thing I did was I took some of the metallic pearls, and I just used, just because I had more of the silver ones left, I colored the silver ones with my bronze Stampin' Blends marker just to give it a little bit of sort of a metallic look, because I didn't want it to be sort of glowing and silver on there. I thought that might look a little strange with the copper embossing. So in my effort to make them look a little like copper, I used the bronze Stampin' Blends marker, and just adhered a couple of them around randomly on the card front. All right, so I'll put the last one right down here and stick those down. And that's it for my card front. The only thing I have left is the inside of the card, and I went ahead and actually pre-stamped and pre-colored that again, just because it's the same process that it was for the outside of the card. I just stamped this in crumb cake ink and colored it with my light Cajun Craze, light and dark, soft seafoam, Stampin' Blends, dark, so saffron, and then colored over the top of it with the color lifter to remove a little bit of the orange coloring. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that to the inside with a little bit of snail of the card base. All right. And I think that is it for the card today. So hopefully you like it. And let me get a little quick crease here with the bone folder. So that is my card share for today, and I'll be posting again all the details out on my blog for this tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions about it. I'm happy to answer anything. And again, don't forget about that joining promotion. That's a really, really, really awesome deal. So you also get the Stampin' Up! The demonstrator discount on any order that you place as a demonstrator. And if you never order anything beyond your starter kit, that's perfectly fine too. So let me know if you have questions about that. Thanks again for joining me today. Oh, one last thing. Don't forget your bonus days coupons. If you have not redeemed those yet, those are only valid through the end of August. So be sure you get your orders in before the end of August and get those coupon codes applied so that you don't miss out on getting a few dollars off, because everybody likes a coupon. So okay, well, thanks again for joining me, and I will plan to be live next week, Tuesday. I think I'm going to go back to the 11 o'clock time. Hopefully that'll work for you guys. But I will plan to see you at 11 o'clock next week, Tuesday. And if anything changes, I'll post a note out on my blog. Thanks again for joining, and have a fantastic rest of your day.